Hello, Serge here for the Backyard Driving Range. All right, got a question came in to customer service from Barry Short, and he starts off by, it comes in on a day when we talked about your clubs go where your hands go. All right, you may remember me in Brisbane, Australia, a short while ago. You gave me a very favorable mention about my position at the top of the swing and at the finish point. All right, so since Barry's talking about Australia, Doc and I are planning on going back. I think Doc's in a formation now of forming up and finalizing things, and actually when it's all put together, it'll be made available on the website, swingsurgeon.com and else. So, but we're both eagerly looking to coming back to Australia this start of winter for us, which will be summer for Australia. So keep a lookout for that, and we'll be heading over there probably sometime in the middle of November. All right, so he goes on. Great comment from John Borges. That must have been about that topic of where the club goes where the hands go. Since seeing you, I have developed a bad habit of lifting my head just before hitting the ball, which of course completely throws out my swing. Very, very frustrating. By really concentrating on keeping my head still until after contact, I can hit the ball well, but being nearly 81, I get tired towards the end of the round, and I go back to my bad habit. Can you give any hints, please, to help me overcome this problem without me having to really concentrate very hard to keep the head still? Thanks, Barry Short. All right. There's always some degree of concentration to hit any golf shot. But I think that if we start concentrating about doing this and doing that in the golf swing, that's what can really mess the swing up, because how much can you concentrate on? On average, the golf swing is barely over a second, all right? And so most people say you're lucky if you can have one swing thought. And so I always combat that by saying, when you've decided the shot you want to hit, the club you have in your hand, you take a pretty good practice swing. Now, by pretty good, I mean I engage my muscles. I have some muscle tone, but I'm not, and I take a full engaged muscle swing, but not at full power. All right? I always want that full swing to feel the swing. And when I for whatever my lie is, for whatever shot I want to hit, I get in the setup that I need for that to hit that shot based on that lie or the swing or whatever I'm trying to do, and I make that swing, and I get to that, I get all the way to my tee finish with that engaged muscles, but just not swinging really hard, because that way I can feel it a lot better. I can feel everything because I'm swinging a little slower. I can really feel the muscles. And then when I get there and I say, yes, that's the move, then I just get up and get into that setup and swing the feel. So I'm not concentrating on any one particular movement. I'm thinking about the overall movement to replicate that feel I just had. So I think that if you can get yourself out of thinking about concentrating on a particular thing or one at the most, but still engaged yourself in trying to swing the feel, I think you'll be a lot better off. So that brings me back to Barry's problem. The head's coming up. The odds of the head coming up is that most people think picking the head up is they pick the head up. You can't do that in a swing. If all your energy is going this way, you perk your head up like that, you could actually hurt your neck. You could hurt yourself, your head or whatever, your neck or your shoulders or whatever. Normally, if the head comes up, it means that the torso is coming up. So you have to look at the issues that can cause that. One can, I think we just go out and say that one might be just standing too close to the ball, and you got to make room for it. I think another one, without a doubt, would be if you're a right-hander, you aim into the right too much, and you have to pull your body to get the club back around you and swinging down the aiming line. So if my target is the camera, which parallel left is right over here, I'm parallel left, but if I'm out here and I got to come to the camera, as I come to stop pulling it back towards the camera, the extra energy I have to stop the club from going and make it go where I want it to go engages the chest and the upper arm muscles more, and I swing it, and that engages that swinging and pulling it over can pull the upper body up, and because the head's sitting on top of your shoulders, your head's going to come up. And that can become a very energy, use a lot of energy to make that swing, because you're having a in many cases, tighten your hands and arms up to change the direction of the golf club and swing it, which tightens up your chest, your neck, your shoulders, your back, even all the way down to your hips and legs, because you're changing the direction of the golf club. And so that's got a high energy consumption to it, and that can be wearing you out. So if I'm gonna make a suggestion, I'm gonna bet that there's a high probability, Barry, you're aiming to the right if you're a righty, aiming to the left if you're a lefty, and that change of direction is causing you to have to tighten up and change direction of the club, and that's where you're feeling the head come up, but it's the whole body is coming up for either that or standing too close, or maybe the ball position is too far back and trying to come up. But either way, we got to figure out something's causing it to happen, and it's consuming a lot of energy, and that's why you're getting tired. So, but I would always say, no, more often than not, stop by checking the alignment. Parallel left. All right. So Barry, I think I've given you a couple good thoughts on this, and any of you else that might be having this problem, the head doesn't come up. The head comes up because the torso is coming up, and we got to figure out why is that happening. All right. We just gave you 3 good thoughts, and if check those out, and if any of those work out for you, and your head's been coming up, it should be able to stay still and just hit the ball and swing up to that tee finish, and you start hitting it much more solid and straight and shooting those lower scores. That's it for the search for today, and I'll be speaking with you all again soon.